Good morning, everyone. This is Mr. Barth. I'd like to welcome everybody in ePod. I am your guest lecturer for Ms. Samarco today. Today we're going to talk about subtraction of integers. Now, subtraction, most of you guys know as the opposite of addition. Now, I'm going to define it a slightly different way, which will help you remember how to handle these. Okay? Instead of calling this the opposite of addition, we are going to call it addition of the opposite. Okay, I'm going to give some sample problems. I'm going to give you the technique to do this, and we'll worry about the explanation later, but this is basically how you deal with these. The idea behind subtracting integers is basically this simple. We are going to change every one of these problems into an addition problem and then just use the addition rules that we've already used. Okay? I've written 9 subtraction problems here, and I'm going to change them all into addition problems. All right? And this is the method that you use. For every single one of these, and you'll note, with the first couple at least, that the answer is simple. Everyone knows that 7 minus 3 is 4. But also, if I change this into an addition problem, what I can do is keep the first number, okay, and I flip the second number to its opposite sign, and I change this to addition. Okay? So when I change this, I end up keeping the 7, changing this to addition, and I flip the sign of the second number to -3. Okay? Please note that you're going to get the same answer. You know from addition rules that this is going to be 4 also. Okay? So every subtraction problem is going to be changed into an addition problem by using keep, change the subtraction, and flip the second number. Here's another example. 8 minus 4 becomes 8. That's keep. Change to addition, flip the sign of the second one. Same deal here. 3 minus 9, that's the same as 3 plus -9. Okay, a similar one. This is 4 plus -7. Here's another one. These start to get a little trickier once you throw some extra negatives in here. This is 6 minus -5. Changes to the addition problem, 6 plus +5. So I kept the 6, changed it to addition, and changed the negative to a positive. Okay? 4 minus -3 is the same as 4 plus +3. Okay? I kept the first number, changed the subtraction, and changed the negative to a positive. Same thing here. -5 minus 6 becomes -5. Notice I leave this one. I'm leaving this one. Change to addition, and change the second number to its opposite sign. -5 minus 6 becomes -5 plus -6. All right, same deal here. -12 minus -2 becomes -12 plus 2. Okay, -1 minus -6 becomes -1 plus 6. Okay? Now, this is just the act of changing them to addition problems. The nice part about this is you don't really even have to learn how to subtract because we already know the rules for addition. Then you go back to your normal rules and you say, let's see, opposite signs. I'm going to subtract. 7 minus 3 is 4. And I keep the sign of the larger absolute value. That's the 7. Done. 8 plus -4. Those are different signs. So I'm going to subtract. 8 minus 4 is 4. And I keep the sign of the larger. Done. Different signs. Subtract. So I'm going to do 9 minus 3 is 6. Keep the sign of larger. -6. Okay, same deal here. If we go through all these different signs, subtract. So I'm going to get 3. And keep the sign of the larger. negative 3. This one turns out to be pretty basic because we already know how to do this. 6 plus 5 is 11. 4 plus 3 is 7. I got, same signs. That means I have to add them and keep the sign. 5 plus 6 is 11. Keep the sign. Done. Different signs. Subtract. 12 minus 2 is 10. Use the sign of the larger absolute value. That's negative. Here's another one. Different signs. Subtract. 6 minus 1 is 5. Keep the sign of the larger absolute value. That's the positive one. So I'm done. Now, some of you may ask, why would you do this? Okay. Number one, learning to subtract integers is a little bit more difficult than just changing them all to addition problems, and you're going to get the same answer anyways. Secondly, as we get further into algebra, you're going to start to see problems that look more like this, a minus b, and a lot of times it's going to help you if you can change that into a plus negative b. It also helps in longer expressions and equations. Let's say I have something like, k minus 3 minus r plus 2 minus 7. Now, I can simplify this whole thing by using the same rule. I'm going to get rid of all the subtraction, okay? So this subtraction in here, I'm immediately going to go keep the first number, change to addition, flip the sign of the second number. Then I'm going to do it again. Keep this one, change to addition, change the sign of the second number. In this case, it's an r, or a variable. Okay? And in the last part, I do keep, change, flip to the other side. Now notice I did not do it for the addition. I only do it for the subtraction. And again, some of you might be saying, well, why are you going to do that? Well, guess what? There's two little properties called the associative property and, oops, can you see that? Okay. And the commutative property. Hopefully that's still on the screen there. Yeah, I think I made it. I can move it over here for you. Okay. Now, if you know the associative and commutative property, associative says in a long string of numbers like this, you can add them together and you can multiply them in any order you want. However, there is no associative property of subtraction. You can't move around the numbers or have the numbers associated with each other for subtraction. You can only do that for addition. Same thing with commutative. Okay, now I have this a minus b. When I had a minus b, I can't just switch this around if it's convenient for me to b minus a. Those aren't the same things. Okay, however, if I change this to a plus negative b, now I can switch this around. Negative b plus a is the same statement. And although it's kind of hard for me to explain right now how you're going to use that, that will come in handy for you later. Okay, so keep in mind when you're doing these, every time you see a subtraction problem, you're immediately going to go keep, change, flip. Okay, one last example. Negative 2. Oops, I'm off the page here. Sorry. Let's see if I can push this up. One last example. Negative 2 minus negative 7. Okay, so I'm going to go keep the first number, change to addition, change the sign of the second number, and now I have negative 2 plus 7. I'm using my addition rules. I'm going to add these two together by subtracting because they're different. So I do 7 minus 2 is 5, and I keep the sign of the larger absolute value. So this is a positive 5. Thank you for watching. Please go back and watch the video if you didn't catch it the first time. Thanks.